I've talked a little bit about DJI's new Ronin M in a couple of my other videos, especially from NAB a few weeks ago. And well, it looked really nice, on paper, and I got to hold it for a few seconds at NAB. They revealed the price point, and that price is going to be $13.99 or roughly $1,400 US dollars. And there's a lot of people saying that that's cheap and that's great. Well, I kind of agree with that, but ultimately it matters if the product is useful. And so far, the short film that DJI has released, Lifted, which apparently they shot in under 7 hours, or so they say, it leaves a lot to be desired. A lot of the stabilized footage just doesn't look that good to me. And maybe that can be excused away because they were rushing, because they were trying to get it all shot in a limited time span. But it's really unfortunate considering this is their kind of marketing promotional material and they're showing off all the cool stabilization you can do, and it doesn't look that good. So even if the gimbal is only $1,400, which is good, it is good that it's cheaper, it's still not worth spending the money if the tool doesn't do what it's supposed to do. But let's look at the actual specs if you guys care to know. Maybe some people already know these, but I'll go through them real quick. So this is meant for cameras up to 8 pounds. This is kind of like the little brother to the regular or the original Ronin. The Ronin M is half the weight of the original Ronin. So it can only, it's lighter, it's easier to carry, but it can only carry up to 8 pounds. So you're looking at smaller rigs, GH4s, A7Ss, 5D Mark IIIs, DSLR type stuff, not the big heavy cameras. There's some cool features, like it's a toolless balance adjustment system, so you don't need tools to balance it, which I really like. A lot of the other gimbals are still having tool designs where you need hex wrenches or Allen wrenches to move and manipulate them to balance them, and that's just so cumbersome. That's just not what anyone wants to have to deal with. So a toolless balance system, that's really nice. And then it weighs 5 pounds. So it's supposed to be lightweight. When I held it, it didn't feel lightweight. I was expecting, just to pick it up and, oh, hey, this is light as a feather, but there's still some beefiness to it. So don't expect it to be lightweight. It's lighter than the Ronin, but it's certainly not. I wouldn't consider it as light as you might expect. When someone's saying something's lightweight, you think, oh yeah, I'm just going to pick it up and it's going to feel like air. Well, no, it doesn't. But I really want to see how these things end up performing when they're out in the wild, because hopefully it is just a fluke that the short film that DJI has released is not. It's unfortunate. It should look better. There are shots that are out of focus, which granted isn't the fault of the gimbal, but there's stuff that's just wobbly and not smooth. It's got this weird, unnatural wobble to it that is almost distracting, because it's smooth, but it's still shaky. It's weird. Hopefully, I'll put the video in this video so you can see what I'm talking about. But we'll see once more test footage comes out. Hopefully I can get my hands on one and actually try it out and see how well it works. I've used a few of the other gimbal systems, and they all have their pros and cons. I haven't found one that I'm 100% sold on, because price is a big factor. But features are really important too. I'm not going to buy some Chinese version off of eBay just for cheap, that's like $600 if it's not going to do its job, because I'm just throwing money away at that point. So hopefully DJI delivers with this at, the $1,400 price point. That is very attractive for the features that they're offering. We'll just have to see if they actually do deliver a product that's worth it. Just for fun, I decided I'd try to warp stabilize some of this footage just to see how much of a difference it makes. So I don't know. What do you think? Is the warp stabilization helping at all? Or was it stable enough to begin with?
Now you go. Go. I'll see you inside.
Okay.
Now, obviously, this is just a fun test, because you wouldn't warp stabilize a compressed YouTube finalized clip. I'm just doing this for fun, for the sake of just testing it out. It is kind of interesting, though, how there are some shots that do benefit from the 5% extra stabilization of Warp Stabilizer, and then other ones it's completely ruined. You know, there are some things that Warp Stabilizer can fix, and there are other shots and there are other moves where it just ruins it completely. So it is good to start with something that is fairly stable. So if the Ronin M can offer that, it's probably worth picking up.